Amazing. So let's move on to Doron. As I was mentioning earlier, so Doron runs a company called as Point Grab, and I've checked your website, and it's so fascinating that you guys actually came up with an innovative product which can help all the law enforcement bodies and the governments to take proper measures for maintaining social distancing. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
What
so
kind of innovation you guys have done in that?
so thank you. I'll try to describe the company or the product the way I do it usually. That's the easiest elevator pitch I've ever had in my life. And I know that some of the audience are people who consider being entrepreneurs or maybe are entrepreneurs by now. It is so important that your idea is easy to explain. Once it is easy to explain, doors are opening. And I worked in companies in which it was very challenging. So I'll explain to you very, very simply what a solution is. It's a sensor that sits in the ceiling of any given space and provides accurate data about the count and location of people within that space. That's it, end of the pitch, right?
Wow.
That's what we do. Now, obviously there are a few additions to it. The whole idea is to not violate people's privacy. So the immediate suspect, so to speak, or the immediate customer would be big organizations who hold large quantity of real estate, and we're providing them this ability to pretty much manage the human flow within the buildings. That was very right prior to COVID-19. It is even more accurate and urgent post-COVID-19, because just like you mentioned, it is about social distancing. It's about limitations of how many people are supposed to gather in a room, in a floor, in a space. And just imagine having a screen that presents you the real time data about the count of people within any given space within that floor or shop or building. And just imagine if you can get, as the manager of that building or the owner of that company, a report that is an online report, real time, that provides you percentage of cases in which there was violation of any social distancing. Suppose people were supposed to keep 6 feet in between, and 87% of the time it was okay, but 13% it was not okay. So at least you have the data, you can monitor it, you can manage it. So even prior to COVID, there was a big and large demand coming, and after COVID, it's becoming even more urgent for many of our customers. I think that I have one more point of view that relates to innovation. PointGrab was established over a decade ago with a totally different technology. It started off with a service or a solution that was aimed at gesture control, raising the volume in TV, lowering the volume, and so forth. And about 5 or 6 years ago, the founders of the company stopped for a minute and said, listen, this market is gone. There's no more market for it. And they could choose between two options. One of them was to give back the money to the shareholders, to the investors, and the other one was to do pivotal change. And they did the pivotal change. And speaking of creative thinking, they came with some basic idea, by the way, well protected in terms of intellectual property. And they said, how can we transform this into a product, into a solution that will be more suitable for the future, near future, hopefully, of smart buildings. And that is how they came with this solution. I cannot take and will not take any credit for this innovation, for this service. I only joined the company in 2018. So every bit of innovative in the product itself, or most of it, came before my time. We are investing a lot of time and efforts now in being more innovative. Perhaps we'll talk about it a bit later. I don't want to steal too much of time here. How to keep market leadership, how to keep being more and more innovative within this ecosystem.
Wow, excellent. I really like this point that you made, that before COVID, the product was just to tell you the number